When I was in 8th grade, something unexplainable happened to my best friend Gerald. Like any other summer night, he came to my house to sleep over. Outside, mosquitoes buzzed, rain drizzled, and frogs croaked. The fragrances of raindrops was among my favorite sensations, so I kept the window open. My room was upstairs, far away from my parents, so we were always noisy. At around 11 p.m., my older brother Sam agreed to take us to Taco Bell. Dude, seriously, you're just getting water? I asked. Come on, dude, you know I'm not allowed to drink soda, Gerald says, looking concerned. Your parents aren't here. It's all right, says my brother, putting his hand on Gerald's shoulder. He then motions to Dr. Pepper on the soda machine. Gerald shakes his head and refuses. I wish I could go back and force him to pick a soda instead. There's no telling if it would have even made a difference, but these thoughts persist. That was the last time I'd ever go to Taco Bell. Can't bring myself to go back after what happened, having since cut off anything that serves as a reminder of that night. After enjoying our tacos, Sam drove us back home and we hung out for a bit before Sam called it a night, saying he was tired. What that really meant was he was going to his room to call his girlfriend. Naturally, Gerald and I headed up to my room for our usual COD zombies. The flickering glow of my ancient television rested on our faces as we plowed through the zombies. Unable to handle only getting to round 10 5 times in a row, we shut off the TV and crawled under our respective covers. Of course, we continued to stay up late into the night, just discussing people in our class. Gerald rattles his near-empty ice water cup in his hand as he speaks. You can toss your drink over there if you're finished. Besides, it's kind of gross to leave it out all night, I say. It's fine, he said as he sat it down on the nightstand beside him. Fine, I'm just telling you. My mom always gets on to me for leaving cups out. He nodded. Looking back, gosh, I wish I had said more. If only I had just made him throw away that cup. Not long after, Gerald and I both drifted to sleep mid-conversation. It's 4 a.m. I wake up to unsettling noises. A horrific hybrid of wheezing and snoring. Its presence sent goosebumps across every inch of my body. Just thinking of it now, my eyes are welling up into tears. What's wrong? I called out, still half asleep, jumping out of my bed towards Gerald's sleeping bag. His face was losing color, and he was trying to say something, holding a cup in his now shaking hand. Blue veins bulged across his face like running rivers. Vehemently, he regained his composure and spoke. Something's in the cup, he said, now sweating immensely. I woke up thirsty, so I grabbed the cup to have a drink. Oh gosh, it swam into my throat. It had legs. It's moving around in my stomach. I stared in disbelief. That couldn't be right. How could something alive get into his cup like that? It even had the lid still on. It still remains a mystery. Gross as it is, at first I thought it might have been a cockroach. Now I really wish that were the case. Something told me he was serious. I'd never seen him this way in our many years of friendship. He looked frozen, like someone who had just been caught doing something wrong. How? I couldn't even think straight. I watched on with absolute disgust as I could now see his stomach writhing under the covers. Before I could react, he pulled himself out of his sleeping bag and darted towards the window. It was open, of course, but it didn't matter either way. He broke right through the glass. I still remember the sound when he hit the driveway. His body vanished. By the time I made it to the window, he was long gone. The local police had a search party looking for weeks, not a trace. I don't know if that thing caused him to jump, or if he couldn't stand it swimming around in his body. I shudder thinking about this. Every night I have nightmares, and I fear I'll never stop having them. The recurring ones are the worst, especially the one where I wake up to Gerald standing beside my bed, vomiting out blood and organs. To this day, I boil the water I drink, and I only drink from translucent cups. I doubt it helps, but I'm not taking any chances. But 4 months later, they found his body. This poor group of kids geocaching in the woods found his bones arranged into one enormous pile. Everything else was gone. They were traumatized. My nightmares persist too, my most recent one involving me watching Gerald spit up his bones one by one. Today I went for a stroll with my dog, Bella. I took her to the usual spot because I prefer the isolation. Pine cones littered the forest canopy beneath my feet. Everything was normal, until I smelled it. The horrific stench that permeated the forest air around me. It made my eyes water, and I started gagging. The sound that came after was awful. It was this wheezing noise. A familiarity set in. I panicked. My heart beat at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Bella sensed something was up too. She started growling. Now, the sound came from behind me. I slowly craned my neck to see. I wish I didn't do that. Imagine how a person looks when they're missing their bones and all their internal organs. It's not a pleasant sight. A rotten husk of flesh somehow crawling towards me, gasping for air. The wheezing, the stench. I couldn't stand it as it inched closer and closer to me. It attacked all my senses. My body didn't know how to react. I began to shut down just like that night Gerald disappeared. I didn't stay to discover its intentions. I'm unsure if that was still the same Gerald, or that creature controlling his brain, but either way, I will not be sleeping tonight, not ever. I decided to relocate. Unbelievable that I've continued living in this godforsaken town after everything. This evening, I brushed my teeth as usual, and as I stared into the mirror, trying to grasp what I had seen today, I reached for the clear cup on my bathroom counter and rinsed my mouth. I wish I never did. Jamming my hand into my mouth, I attempt to stop it before it's too late. To no avail. With seemingly just seconds to react, I try to weigh my options. My frantic decision leads me to lock myself in the bathroom. Every piece of furniture that would fit is now pressed up against the door. I can feel my heart pounding all the way in my stomach. Imagine the sharpest stomach pain you felt, and then multiply that by 40. As I writhe on the cold tile floor, the familiar whirring of the garage door briefly shakes the house. I hear the front door pop open. My mom is home. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to this narration. I just wanted to give a quick thank you to all of my patrons who are subscribed over at my Patreon. We have a great big thank you from me to you, Alonzo, Kozak, Icy Narrates, Jesse Hartley, Andreas Anderson London, and Geek Sanctuary. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. If you would like to support too, just check out the links in my description. And thank you again for listening. I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.